So hi everyone, this is David Xu. I'm the Director General of the Confederation of the Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industries. And on behalf of the Confederation, I would like to welcome all of you to participate in the first session of the YEGAP Talk. Of course, YEGAP is one of the most active councils under the umbrella of the confederations. And the YEGAP Talk is a virtual talk shows inviting young entrepreneurs and friends to share their story and experience, such as their dreams, their failures, their successes, and most importantly, how do they overcome difficulties that they have ever encountered, so as to inspire our young entrepreneur and young friend, and to bring them some bright futures and positive energy as well. And the YEGAP Talk is a virtual talk show open to the public, and we welcome to have more stories from different countries and regions, and that's the reason we expect to hear your stories, and you are most welcome to share your experience on this platform. Again, I would like to welcome all of you and wish the YEGAP Talk series a great success. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. This is Hulan Davadosh from Mongolia. I am the executive member of YEGAP and also lead the Learning and Networking Committee. And I'm very happy to share with you all the hard work of our committee, which is the first online event called YEGAP Talks. And as David mentioned, YEGAP Talks has the aim of bringing together young people and entrepreneurs from all over the region of Asia Pacific. And we want to share their stories and also hope that it will inspire you, whether you want to become an entrepreneur, whether you are an entrepreneur, or whether you just want to hear from others. YEGAP Talks will continue on a regular basis, and it's not the only thing that we have planned for you. So stay tuned and stay connected with us so that you can learn about all our activities later on. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Lee from South Korea. So today I'm a moderator. So we are so happy, honored to have the Vani Nades as the first speaker of the YEGAP Talks. Vani Nades is the CEO of the Emstret Holdings in Papua New Guinea. I got the several pages of the whole her CVs, but time is too short. I cannot read everything. But I want to keep mentioning a couple of things. She is a business leader, also a community advocate, and also a serial entrepreneur. She has been in the education sector more than 20 years. I think Vani will tell us more about her entrepreneurial stories, everything in the later. Before inviting her on the stage, we'll watch a short video about her and her company.
In Papua New Guinea, the cost of internet is very expensive, and it does get to a point where service becomes unreliable as well. So having to be in business, that was one of the issues that we face, having access to affordable internet services. So we were lucky enough to come across CACCI, and we find that providing the VSETs out there is a very convenient way of giving them connectivity because of the challenges that we face. Not every Papua New Guinea have power connected to their villages, so we provide a solution which is with the VSET plus the solar, and we give Wi-Fi and also the hotspots. So that's the complete solutions that we provide, so that we also create entrepreneurship in the community for our rural communities to resell, make their money, and continue to maintain their connectivity with Emstret as well. So that's what we have been providing through the VSET and the partnership with CACCI. In terms of solutions for Emstret, We also have different solutions to provide our different client needs that we serve. Having to be with CACCI Solutions, it really does works well for us because we can be able to go anywhere and everywhere, even the last miles, to give connectivity to whoever that needs internet connectivity. And that's the reason why that we purely sit with CACCI providing the services through the visits, and we see that it has been working really well over the years. There's challenges, but we have to make it work. At the end of the day, we want to connect where it matters most, and that's the Emstret innovation. And I believe that the partnership that we have with CACCI has really enabled Emstret Vision to continue the work that we want to do and continue the journey in our rural communities, and that's what we focus more on, apart from having businesses in towns and cities. So we have been across Papua New Guinea, so it's been really great so far.
Wow, it is a very nice introduction into the Vani and her company. So I feel like you are a real connector, help the people connect with the rest of the world. Really impressive. It is time to have the Vani on the stage. Please welcome the Vani. It is your show time. Please enjoy your time on the stage.
As introduced, my name is Vani Nades, and I'm the CEO for Emstret Holdings Limited. And I think, and as we all know, entrepreneurship is all about passion. It's all about, finding ideas and innovating to bring that business ideas to life. And not only that, but looking at opportunities and the solutions that you can be able to create to impact somebody else. So it has been Emstret vision to actually do business and impact the community that we are surrounded by. And I've been in the education space for the last 21 years, building that space with my former employer, and it's something that I really love. And education is always the key and is always core, and that's how I built my foundation through education and working for that institution for the last 21 years, from a village girl to studying at the institution and working for them, and going out there, grabbing information, learning and growing, and bringing it back to where I can be able to impact most, which is the rural communities. So what happened was, I never dreamt of being an entrepreneur, running my own business. I enjoyed every part of my life, working for an educational institution, giving a second chance to grade 10 and grade 12, dropouts who were trying to find their way through. So through the institution, we have developed, so many programs that we help take them along with us to find their footing, become degree holders in various, various areas like accounting, IT, business, marketing, and HR. And then from there, we created a career development where we put them into, simulation office to learn how to do IT work, to do accounting work. So our aim was to make sure that when they get a job, they make sure that they know what they're doing on first day itself. So it reduces the level of stress from training from employers. Our students are well equipped to actually take on the roles and the jobs that they are actually positioned to do. So I left I left 9 years ago to get into entrepreneurship. And of course, I've never dreamed of running my business. It was, things happen, right? Things happen, and then we try to find a way and say, okay, I'm not working for anybody else, but let me try and build my own business and see what I can do. If I can build somebody else's dream, I'm sure I can be able to build myself. So that was my self motivation and what I was, driven by at that very moment, when I have to leave my good job, which I was a director at the time, leave my good job, and with the experience and the exposures and the skills and the learnings that I have taken from that experience, to put that into my own little, business that I wanted to start as a startup. So at that very moment, it was just dark. I didn't know where I was going. In front of me, when we start, it's a risk. You leave your, fortnight pay job and getting in, taking the risk and jumping into something which is new, running your own business. So where do I start? So mostly was I actually thrived on networking. I actually thrived on my relationship that I have built over the years in my past employer. So those were the two things that really made me to start telling them and say, okay, this is my stage, this is my position. I need to find myself and perhaps, give me a consulting job so I can be able to pick up where I left off. And it was just, at the time, I didn't have any plans. It was just dark. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew what I was going to do. And like in entrepreneurship, it's all about experience and getting into it. And when you find those challenges, you try to find solutions and work your way around to find what you really want to do through those, challenges and opportunities. So you can be able to really focus on what exactly you want to drive in your business. What are the services and what are the products that you want to be able to, bring into your business. So I started off with as a consultancy when I started. And of course, being a village girl growing up, everything that you want to do, you want to take it back rural. So at the core of my heart was doing business and what I can do to take back into the community. So I started Emstret Space in 2014. So this is almost like 9 years now operating. So in 2014, I did consultancy. So everything that I did was put it back into the business to grow it. So I was just one person. And then came along, my husband who came and joined me, and then we started working towards building that forward. So in 2014, as a startup, so much challenges, you always try to check your bank balance, how you want to spend, what you want to spend on, you count your pennies. And at the same time, you hustle, go out there and talk to people for business. So all this sort of thing. And then, the challenges we faced was, as a startup, you were looking at some people to look into your business and help you grow your business. Like you need a mentor, you need, all this coaching, things that you need for somebody to help you grow your business and look at your idea and tell you what you want to do. And it was very suppressing. It was a lot of work that I had to do in terms of finding people to help me grow the business. But I had very wonderful friends who actually emotionally support me in terms of, giving me that positiveness. It all comes back to yourself, the purpose of the business that you want to deliver. So at the time in 2016, when I went selected to go to Silicon Valley, that was the opening for me. I went for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit that they had all this mentorship, coaching, business advisory, connecting with other, global entrepreneurs that were there, investors, pitching, somebody looking into your business. So that was a tool that I came back with to build my business forward. So the rest started to, we started to find our way now. So when we consulted for one of our governors in Enga province up in the highlands for internet connectivity in 2016, so that's when we started going into technology. So my core business is internet now, where I would say the only female internet company or women-owned internet company that is actually driving change, that is actually going out to the last mile, creating that access and creating that platform where our local or rural people can be able to have access to and, able to educate themselves through technology. So I saw internet or providing this connectivity as an enabler. And it's not an easy ride. It's not an easy ride in a technology field where you have to compete against the big boys. But I guess you have to stay true to your passion and stay true to your value and the purpose of what you're trying to drive through your business. So it wasn't all about chasing money. It was all about providing solutions, providing impact. And we believe that, once we do these things, our actions speak for itself. So people notice and word of mouth spreads. and then more business comes in to go out and keep, you know, helping and connecting and bringing all these, you know, platforms out there. So within 9 years, we have like registered our Emstret space, which is a co-working hub that we provide support for entrepreneurs, where they can be able to come and have an office space, a hot desk, connectivity, connect with others. We connect them to CEOs and such things like, you know, events like this. So it exposes them so they come back and build their business. So we actually founded that company, which is Emstret Space, providing that platform for our entrepreneurs and small to medium businesses in the country. And we also, during COVID came, we actually launched our ShopSmart PNG, which is an e-commerce platform for all our SMEs across, you know, PNG to have an online shop and put their products on there. So we actually market them through online so they can be able to trade easily, which we have integrated the internet payment gateway system, the logistics and distributions, and so that customers can connect directly with the suppliers, them as well. So, you know, we just a bridge to connect. And at the same time, I have my little CEO, which is a pizza delivery company, because and a cafe as well, because I like to sit down and converse with people, and then ideas come out of, you know, having a cup of coffee. And also my our charity foundation, charity arm of the business, which is called Voices for Villages Foundation, which we go out to the villages, helping in the areas of education, health, sanitation, water, power, and other things that we see that will impact the community. So in a nutshell, if you look at, you know, what we're doing, it's business with impact. And I love that because, you know, when you are empowered and when you can influence, you know, bring those changes and help others also to grow. So we will grow together to leverage of what we have so we can build a better community, you know, building together. So that's been the drive all along. And of course, the challenges are there. If you ask me the challenges, and it's not easy to run a business, you know. For a start, you have to look for your startup capital, which you have to dig deep through your own pockets and build a business because you are purpose driven, you are value driven, you're passionate about going out there, creating that platform so that you can be able to bring along people, stand together with you, move together, so you can, you know, make that change together and create a revolution that we stand together to create a positive solution for everybody. And I always believe in collaboration, co-working, connecting, and creating, because, you know, the things that you don't have, others would have. So it helps you to build that. So we have to look at, it's like, you know, we try to compete with each other. But again, we need to look at everybody else that, you know, we need to bring together, we need to collaborate so that every one of us, you know, we synergize and build that vision forward. So, and I always believe in not reinventing the wheel. Of course, you know, I have to, with the technology, I have to compete with big boys. But again, you know, we stand focused on what we are driven, and that is to help our people, bring these solutions to them, and we create that synergy together, and they're able to have access to the platforms that we create through the technology as well. So, and you know, as you grow, as you progress, and of course, you know, there are challenges along the way, but you've got to see past those challenges. Sometimes, you know, rent is not easy to afford here with these COVID challenges. You know, what do you do? So we try to, because we are very diverse, but of course it into our pockets. But again, we try to find partnerships to bring it in so that we are able to progress. So I have an office where my home is, and I've turned that into a space, so that also helps with the growth of our business in terms of in our technology business. But with a co-working hub, we have to rent. So we try to find partners to come on board. So we actually try to create revenue and keep the operations going, because we're seeing success in there. And if we close down our operation for the co-working hub, you know, it also eat into your heart that where would your people go? Because you're providing this platform that they're actually, it's enabling them to grow. the challenges that I face, I don't want my fellow other entrepreneurs to face as well. So if we can create that environment where every one of us grow, we are able to, grow stronger together, if that makes sense. If I'm just saying. So yeah, it's one of the things that I really find is that, self-motivation, self-driven, and having, people around you that really believe in your journey. And that is one thing that many of us have to realize as entrepreneurs, and I thrive on that because I really have good people that I get good pool of people that I can be able to tap into, go and have a discussion. Or if I'm really frustrated about something, there are people that I can be able to count on. If I need an advice, there are people that I need to go to, for everything that I really need. And that is why relationship is very, very important in terms of running business. And that's where we actually thrive. And I always say that your network is your net worth. Yeah, in Papua New Guinea, running your business is not easy, and being a women in the field as well, and in the technology space as well, you're up against the big boys. But again, there's also opportunities that you can be able to grab on to keep progressing and keep sharpening the saw and keep focusing on the bigger picture. I have big dreams. I'm sure I have big dreams.
First of all, you had a full of the love to your people, to your community. And the second one is like empowerment. And the third one, I feel like you are the pioneer, or like a pathfinder. The last one, risk-taking. And then now we'll ask you 5 official questions to you. But here is the first official question. So I know as an entrepreneur, I think you have to overcome so many difficulties. Please remind of your first day. So what was the most difficult challenge which you have to overcome at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey? Or when you start your new business, what is the first most difficult challenge and then how to overcome it?
First of all, the biggest challenge is that when you're starting your business, people having confidence in you, the business and the things that you want to deliver. So the confidence was one of the biggest challenge that, I tried to convince people that I thought we'll do business with. So for them to have confidence in me was very, very limited. But for those that have worked with me in the past, they know, what I have achieved during my previous employer. But now that I have changed from that to running my own business, the confidence of, can I deliver? I'm an IT. I have business and accounting and management background. I don't have an IT degree. Will they believe in me? So the confidence was one of the things that I found it very people to have confidence in me or in my business is what we're going to deliver. But I know myself that yes, we can do it because I really have a great partner that really supported and helped me with things I lacked, meaning in the technical space. So you got to bring in, as business owners, you got to bring in people to bridge those gaps to grow, because that's what you want to drive. You want to get there. Who do you bring in? So I was very lucky to have my business partner, who is our CTO, and who happened to be, my husband as well. So, so he took care of the technical side of it, and that gave me the confidence to keep building, and by actions and the things that you do, the word of mouth, spread. So people started having confidence in you. So that was the first hurdle, confidence. People to have confidence in you. Of course, capital is everything that, people will always talk about. That's normal, but for me was that, what can I do to cross that line so that people can have confidence in what I do to create a business. So that was the biggest challenge. There's a whole lot of challenges, but the first biggest challenge is confidence, because when you start your business, not everybody will have confidence in you.
I think so, yeah. So you mentioned, I feel like you are so like brave is a good word, but the other word you are super crazy, you know,
Oh, yes.
because
You have to
wow.
have crazy ideas, but you know you can do it.
Okay.
Believe in
Second one,
yourself,
second
yes.
question one. Okay, yeah. So because you mentioned about the confidence to yourself and confidence to your business idea, you mentioned this is the first challenge. So sometimes you mentioned that there are so many different come out, you used to overcome so many times. So how to motivate, inspire yourself to overcome, especially the feelings and emotion you feel. I'm desperate and feel like I'm a totally loser or hopeless when you feel it emotionally. So how to motivate yourself to overcome?
So I'm always optimistic, and I look at when you're in that motion, like you expressed, you just mentioned, all these
Yeah.
emotional adrenaline, all these, things. You're frustrated, and you want to scream and you want to shout, you want to cry, and I think one of the things that I really keep my sanity. And one of the things is self-motivation, and then you have a friend that you can be able to just go and blurt. And one of the things that I keep my sanity is also fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness. So, when you're really angry, okay, you just go and sweat it out. And then after that, you rejuvenate yourself, you're back into the game again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, one of the things that, we need to realize, so I realized at the time, is that embrace these emotions, embrace these critics,
Mm-hmm.
embrace these challenges, embrace these negativities, because at the end of it all, somebody will have something to say about you. Somebody will, always frustrate you. You just
Yeah.
have to embrace yourself,
Mm.
embrace those challenges and those negativities, see beyond that, and don't react to emotions that quickly. Step away from them. Of course, we're human beings. Initially we'll scream and shout, but at the same time, you got to step back and realize that, not to drive on emotions, but step back and find other means and ways to see past that and create
Yeah.
create that,
Mm.
your mindset, and
Yeah.
motivate yourself to move forward.
Wow. So good. So
Thank
there is a third official question is there is so many different, definition about the success. Okay. Depends on the definition of the success, we had a different goal, different action plan. So what is your personal definition of success?
So for me, success is all about learning, growing, and progressing. Basically, I haven't hit the $20 million bank account yet, but people have different
All right.
ways of defining, what their success is. For
Mhm.
me, success is, like I said, success for me is learning, growing, and progressing, and then stay
Wow.
focused on what you
Yeah.
want to create.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you are one of first the definition of the success is learning. You mentioned
Yes.
that. So currently, what do you learning in now? So maybe in next couple of years, what you want to learn?
So right now I'm learning all about like being in the technology space.
Hmm.
I learn about the VSETs, because I teach myself. I learn from my partner. I learn from my boys. I ask a lot of questions. Sometimes even going with them to sites, to climb the tower or put up the visits or align the visits, and ask all these little questions, that technical questions that I need to learn myself. So if I have to do it myself, that's already a success. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, and learning and then building the business forward through those experiences.
Yeah.
So with those experiences, challenges right in front of you, it's also
Hmm.
helping you to direct your business where you want to go. What are
Okay.
the gaps that you need to bridge to bring it in,
Hmm.
so that you keep, building that. I always say building my rocket space.
Whoa, I got it.
Oh
Gotcha.
yes, Emstret, and
Okay.
one of my dreams, one of our dreams, Emstret dreams, is to, be the next uh, local private telco in the country.
Okay. It's
And
using
we're
this, it's
looking
setting
for,
the satellite in the space for the internet
yes,
connection.
correct, because there's so
I
much that
got
we
it.
can do in this space to bring it. For me is, taking it back to the rural areas. That
I
is
see.
where, because I grew up as a village girl, the challenges and all that sort of thing,
Hmm.
and through opportunities and learning and exposure, you want to influence and bring it back to, you know, to them, to a village kid, a village girl, a village boy, and give them hope that yes, you can do things. Look at me, I'm an example.
Okay,
Nothing is
good
easy. It's
one.
all about working hard.
Yeah, you mentioned that you have to dream, one of the biggest dream, get the one, your personal rocket. So, because you have a lot of rules, because you are the CEO, many companies, and then you are the wife and the mom and daughters, because also because of you, you have, even though everyone got the 24 hours, but I feel for you is the 24 hours is not enough to do so many rules. So because nowadays many people want to keep the balance between the work and the life. So how do you, guys, like one curious, how do you keep the balance between work and life? Or sometimes your kids do not complain about you, mom, I need you, so how do you keep it?
Oh yeah, and that's the fun thing about being entrepreneur. And I always tell people, how do you juggle? And I say entrepreneurs don't sleep. We try to blend in when we go into our house, a wife or a brother, we blending. So we take it as it comes. And then for me, trying to balance, work and life, and of course, trying to make my children understand that, I'm a working mother.
Mhm,
So yes, we got time as well. But yes, I enjoy being a mother. I enjoy being a wife as well. So when you go home, you position yourself as to attend like I said, you attend to the house chores. And
yeah.
what I do is that I take care of my kid, attend to them first. But sometimes when I get too busy, I have my family, especially my parents, are there to take care of the home as well. So they fit into, what I need to do as a mother or wife. So they take care of everything while I'm busy out there. So, like I always say, a happy home, a happy wife, a happy businesswoman. So, but there's always challenges and ups and downs.
Yeah,
But you try to manage them, in between as well.
yeah.
So work is work, family is family, and
Okay.
creating your own space as well is also good. And I
Oh,
always love my quiet time. I always love
okay.
my space,
Okay.
and not only because I don't want to be with my family or children or my husband, because I just want sanity to pick myself up again. It's not selfish.
Hmm.
They always say about self-care, and self-care is also important because
Yep.
running the business, juggling motherhood, trying to attend to your husband and families, and trying to attend to yourself. So you know you need to be able to balance yourself well.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes because
Yep.
I'm crazy with business, my business
Mhm.
take over my family. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm happy because my family is there to support me and take care of home as well.
Oh, I got it. I got it. So this is my the last official question, because can you give some advice to someone who wanna be entrepreneur in the future,
Yes,
or someone struggling run the business?
I'd say that entrepreneurship is very exciting and it can be
Hmm.
challenging at the same time, but it's
Yeah.
not for faint-hearted. But if you
Hmm.
know that you want to get into business and that's your passion and that's your drive, you need to have a purpose of why you want to run your business and work at
Hmm.
it. Even though challenges in the beginning will come, but you should never ever give up of chasing your dreams, because at the end of the day, you want to drive your idea, you want to drive your business. So you keep
Hmm.
finding solutions to build your business and being with people who can be able to enable you further. So I'm telling you that, you know, once you get into this entrepreneurship space, you'll love it. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to, you know, create fear in you. You know, every successful person that we always read about started somewhere. So you got to start somewhere. If what's in your heart,
Okay.
and that's what you want to do, you better take it and do it. Otherwise, it'll never come. But for those entrepreneurs who are finding it challenging and already existing businesses, you know, what I'd say is that, you know, never ever give up on your dream. Of course, we'll be challenged. At some point in time, we will cry. At some point in time, we will give up. At some point in time, you know, why are you doing it? So all these questions will run in your head. But again, you're already in business. So it's not about just registering your business. You register your business to do something. So if you think that you have a purpose in that, running your business, by all means go ahead. You know, there are people out there you can be able to knock on doors. There are platforms that you can be able to have access to. There are, you know, so many other people who are there to give you that give you that boost. You just have to look further. And one of the things that I always tell people is that don't just stick within your circle. You gotta expand your circle so that you can be able to pick on good things that will build you forward, and also you connect with business houses or people that also can be able to leverage of your business. At the end of the day, you're doing business and you're growing your business and you're building relationship at the same time. And I always say that relationship is very, very important.
We had a lot of questions from the attendees today. So there's very interesting, you know, questions. The first one is Jacqui Liu Tulu, and they asked that how and where is the best place for someone with no existing professional network, okay, to start. If someone has no existing professional network to do something, but where, when, how to start new things?
So basically, non-professional network. So,
yeah,
you know, we build our networks in different forms, different ways. And one of the things, you know, we're on social media, the LinkedIn is there, and your friends and people that you interact with. And of course, you know, there could be somebody who sees you and then connect you with somebody else. And for me, with my business, because like, for example, I worked in my previous employer, in which I have met so many professionals, so many CEOs, and because they need training and providing scholarship for their employees, that's how I delivered and created my confidence and created my relationship with them. And from then, when I got into business, of course, I had to build business network. Then I thrived onto those friendship that I had before to help me along and connect me along. Some of them, you know, it may not be worth it. Some of them worth it. Some of them probably won't connect you, but you should not stop. And you have to start somewhere. Start somewhere and go to events as well. Organize events that go and talk to somebody that you don't know. And that's when you start building that.
Okay, good one. So
I hope I have answered his question.
there has two questions from the Shanghai. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly or not. And they asked the question, as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman. So what is your recommendation for young women entrepreneurs not to lose their hope? Okay, this is one question. Second one, as a young woman, how do you keep the balance to your career and family life? As a man, I think a little bit easier than a woman. So you already mentioned it about the keep the balance one, especially as a young woman. Yeah. So can you give us some advice how to keep the balance to your career and the family life? Also, how keep the hope, not to lose their hope as a young entrepreneurs. Can you give us some recommendations?
Yes. Thank you very much. A very valid question as well, because I actually spend my time with young women here in Papua New Guinea as well, and some of them have lost hope, lost directions. But having to work with them, you try to inspire them and motivate them, and basically sometimes the environment that they come from is very abusive. So all those things that are involved as well. So for me, talking to these young people was that bringing them into your space and telling your story of where and how you started, because I was in their shoes as well. But if these young girls, if you have a dream, you need to keep working at it. Never ever ever give up, and never ever listen to people to tell you that you can't do it, because you can do it. So if you have a dream, keep working at it. Find people that can enable you to grow, and don't give up. Don't give up. And I always tell my daughter, and I always tell my friends, I always tell this is what I always tell my daughters all the time, my daughter all the time, I said, books before boys. If you have a dream, you work towards that dream first and achieve that. So with those young girls out there, if you're losing hope, there is always hope. You just have to connect with the right people who can be able to take you along and show you the path where you can be able to grow and help yourself. And one of the things is that when you're given the opportunity, young girls out there, when you're given the opportunity, make use of those opportunities. It could be small, it could be something, but keep working on it because you never know where it'll take you.
Gotcha. So I have another question from the Ali from Iran, and he mentioned that, could you explain something, shed some light on the business environment in your country? For example, there are so many difficulties handled with, especially in the government side, like bureaucratics and governments, even though they said we are really help your business to grow or expand, we help you. But sometimes there are real hurdle or obstacle or challenge. We have to overcome it. So how can we to solve the problem, especially when you deal with the government side? Especially they provide very big barriers or hurdles.
Yes, and this is where I get involved big time in terms of trying to influence policies. Being a woman in the country and running my own business too has its own challenges. And for me is, trying to see the objective of what we're trying to implement and have a dialogue with them, so you can be able to build a better PNG, or contribute to their strategy as well moving forward. So it's really hard where you had to really, when you're working with, fellow leaders, they have their own agendas, policies that are not, enabling for us, entrepreneurs. We, a lot of issues, doing business as well, all these things, factors to the hindrance to progress. So having to recognize those things, I get heavily involved on how I can be able to influence those policies to make it easier and create an enabling environment for many of us to have access to those platforms. So the environment here in Papua New Guinea, we have a lot of potential, a lot of, growth, but again, the environment that surrounds us, local business too, is not so conducive if we want to participate in projects and things like that. And when you talk about heavily corruption take place and all these bureaucracies and red tapes, and it just stays there. But again, that doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do with our business, because for me is that I don't take no for an answer. If you don't provide these facilities or enabling environment for me, I'll go and create it myself and make it happen.
Okay.
It's not easy. Papua New Guinea, we have 22 provinces, 800 different languages, very diverse in our culture. So you can imagine, all these things that we have to.
So honestly, I cannot imagine, because I'm from South Korea, whereas, one country, one language, so
yeah.
Sometimes you have many islands, many different tribes, the languages. I don't know, I cannot imagine how they're difficult. So
Yeah.
we got some question from the Abby. You describe yourself as a serial entrepreneur. So it means you run so many different business. And then, so do you have the plan to start a new business in soon? And then another question. So you want to, in the future, with a different industry area or same area anyway. So if you want to plan to launch new business soon or not. And the second question from the ABC said that, and how has been, woman help or hamper your journey as an entrepreneur?
The second question meaning hamper?
It means hamper or help. As a woman, is a woman help your business or hamper your business as a
Okay,
woman?
yeah, very good questions, very good question. In terms of, when I hear serial, I'm thinking, oh, I might be a serial killer. No, I'm joking, but serial in business. So basically, those are the business. We've created an ecosystem. So, and the things that we see are solutions to the problems. So what we want to focus, I don't intend to, start another business. Now that the ecosystem is already being created, want to focus on that, building that platform, and it becomes the foundation to take it across the region here in Papua New Guinea. So you can be able to have franchising in different parts of Papua New Guinea and enabling somebody else to run the business. And we come back and we just do quality checks and audits and making sure that, the things are in order. So I don't intend to do any more businesses yet, but who knows, I have crazy ideas, so you never know. But again, I want to build this platform we've already been building. So I think this will be a revolution if I get that capital investment. All these things will certainly, roll out, and I'll be the happiest person because we're also impacting others and creating more entrepreneurs and providing a platform to grow and scale. When you talk about support, that the hamper women supporting
help or hamper.
Yes and no. And of course, sometimes I have really great women and also male champions that I stand on their shoulders of, because they really believe in the journey that I take. They really they support the journey and they support my business because of me going out there and helping other communities. So I really have great women who are there giving me that advice, motivation, supporting my business, referring me, being my advisor as well. And it's been fantastic to have this, handful of women. So I have somebody who, who is my motivator, somebody who is my business advisor, somebody who is I can go and vent my frustrations with, or somebody who comes in and say, hey, here's a business opportunity, let me connect you with this. There's somebody, an investor, here, come, let's talk. So I have all this group of women who are there that, help support. But again, there's also women who are ready to, it's always nature. They don't want to see progress. And of course, I've lost friends. As you progress with your business, as you focus on growing your business, I've lost, friends. And that's okay. Like I say, people come, people go. You just have to accept that and you continue to progress with what you want to do.
Okay. We have a couple of questions more. One, when you start the business, many people will comment as a team. You need a team work together. So you think start the business with a family or friends, or start a business independently. So what is your personal opinion? What do you recommend if you want to start a business? Alone, family, friends, or other people?
So basically, it always been my rule of thumb that I shouldn't start business with family, because, of course, it depends on, I always want to take my family out of the business. But, me with my husband, because we're so passionately driven of what we want to do, and we complement each other, which is really great. Of course, we debate about the business directions, the strategic directions, what we want to do. And it's healthy because at the end of the day, we want to grow the business. So having to start the business and growing, we recruit people that I have worked with in the past that come and bridge the gap for us to progress and help the operation, because I can't do everything myself. As we progress, we have to find the right fitting. But family is always there to support, and you have to draw a line. Where family comes in and where family, like, my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, I try to avoid those things because I don't want to create, any grievances amongst ourselves. So we have to keep the family, because entity has to run on its own. Even the entity has to run without Vani, or run without, what do you call it, my husband too. So we're going to build that business to stand on its own and bring in people, expertise to bring new ideas and grow it. And you look at the strategic part of the business at the same time. So, and with friends too, for me is that, I value my friends and I don't want to tarnish, friendship as well. But at the same time, when you want to bring in friends, you need to make it clear, draw a line somewhere that, yes, I appreciate your expertise in this area. Let's work at that, draw up a scope, and we work from there and build it forward. And some friends are good, and I've thrived on that. Some families are good. I've thrived on my family, but they don't work for my business, but they help me outside. So that's good and bad.
Okay. Always there is no right answer. Depends on the
There's no
situation.
right answer to it. It depends on what works for you, actually.
Okay. I got the last question. So because I guess you have you has a lot of membership of the international organizations. Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know how many organizations you are to participate. Especially, what motivated you to join YEGAP? So two questions. How many international organizations do you involve in now?
Yes.
And especially, what motivated you to join YEGAP?
What motivated me to join YEGAP is because of the entrepreneurship circle and the network across the world, and people like yourself and Abby and the CACCI and everybody else. They have different expertise, different experience that you learn from, and you're inspired, and you want to bring that back to Papua New Guinea and share it with the entrepreneurs here, so that they're exposed, they have different mindset and different ways of looking into the business, and work with people and know that there are other people out there who are doing the same thing. You can be able to network and collaborate with to build your business. So, and I love everything about YEGAP, because that's the space that I have been. That's the space that I have been as a startup. I had to look for help and support and mentoring and coaching. So I don't want them to face the same thing. So if I have to be in these networks or in these professional associations or chambers, I bring it into the space and share that information with everybody else. So the Young Entrepreneurship Group, YEGAP, has been really good so far. And things that we do to share here, and not only YEGAP as well, because I also sit on the as an independent advisor to the Pacific Trade Investment. So that's basically coming to trade and working with other trade commissioners on how we can help our SMEs who are in their trading environment with their products, and see how we can do that. So you bring that in. And sitting on the Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce as well, it's all about business and how I can involve the SMEs coming in so that they are exposed. Basically, it's the exposure. When you expose yourself to different people and you learn from different people, you're growing. You're leveraging off their knowledge, taking in the good bits, and coming and seeing how you can be able to build yourself as well. And that is one thing that a lot of young entrepreneurs need to really, really learn, that, things don't come overnight. You got to keep working, and keep working until you get it right.
So thank you so much, Vani. It is my great honor to listen to your stories and know you about your business, your passion things. So, and then your experience, your insight about the business. So thank you so much, and hope to see you face to face to get know each other coming soon.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
So,
it's been a
thank
pleasure.
you. Yeah. Do you have any? I will give you like a 10-second to give your final mention anything to the audience today.
Yes. Thank you, audience, for being part of our first YEGAP talk today, and it's been a pleasure sharing my journey. And I hope that my story, probably resonate with you all. And of course, the challenges that you face is the same challenges that I face, but I guess together we all can be able to create the change, create the impact, and see where we can be able to synergize and help others grow ourselves as well. So when we collaborate more, we're able to synergize more and provide solutions and create those opportunities for others, what others have done for ourselves as well. So, and of course, when challenges are there, never give up, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
I'll try to remember one thing: never ever give up. Okay.
Yes, thank
So
you, Michael.
thank you, Vani, and everyone. So
Yes,
we'll
thank
have
you.
thank you. We'll have a second YEGAP talk on August the 19th, the Friday, at 3 p.m. in Taipei time. So we'll have a Kulan Davado from Mongolia. Already she had a welcome message. I think the Kulan is a real romantic entrepreneur. She has a wonderful different story compared to the Vani. And also, I'm very excited to listen to her story in next month. Once again, thank you, Vani, and everyone. Have a fantastic Friday and weekend too. So hope to see you all in second edition of the YEGAP Talk on August the 19th. Please block your schedule right now, August the 19th. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.